Okay, so what do I mean by value high and value low? Right, okay, so that's a value area high, which is marked up on the screen here. And we have VPOC, which is the point of control, right? That's where the most amount of trades are done on the volume profile. And basically VAH, and it's just at that now as we speak, and that's why it's covered up. VAH is value area high, is where the top of the 70% of trade is done. So what I basically mean by this is if we think of on a day, yeah, 70% of trade is done between VAH there and VAL. Now, if you have a responsive buyer as against an initiative buyer, a responsive buyer will buy at valuation area low and sell at valuation area high. Now, if you're an initiative buyer, you would buy outside this zone, right? i.e. breakout traders and breakout traders to the downside. Now, when we're trading mean reversion, basically, effectively, what we're attempting to do is take along around this area and take it back to VPOC, right? We don't trade from VPOC down and vice versa, right? So if we're doing mean reversion. Have you got any questions about that, Dan, David?
So the way I understand it is that so like a retail trader, you would call that as a responsive trader.
Well, I mean, basically, you've got obviously different time frame traders. Obviously, the higher time frame traders are, as an example, institutions or pension funds. We are what's known as weak hands, i.e. retail traders. And what I basically mean by that is basically if me or you places a trade, say for instance at a valuation area low, and it then continues going down, say 3 points, me and you would get out, we'd stop out. A pension fund wouldn't do that. Pension fund, if they're buying for an ETF, then they're just buying, right? So then they're not interested in, you know, these particular areas like we are. Obviously, they pay attention to different parts and different areas, but the difference is we may trade it. So, but an initiative trader, an initiative buyer would be buying, as an example, value area high for a breakout, right? i.e. they think the market's going to go up and they think it's going to time frame up to the next, for instance, VPOC, right? Now, obviously, this is a VPOC here. That's there, right? Same as, you know, over here, this is the VPOC that's current. Yeah. So obviously, if we're going to traverse down the VPOCs, right, then literally, and say, for instance, we, as an example, if we are buyers and sellers and we say, we don't think there's value in trading in this area, we want to trade from an area lower down, then obviously, potentially, that would then be another big area like so. In fact, let me bring up a blank chart for you for 2 seconds to explain it. It's a little bit easier. In fact, yeah, that's what we'll do. So that's the easiest. Just clean this chart. Oh shit, have I just cleaned the wrong chart? Oh, you're joking. Right, 2 secs. I have just cleaned the wrong chart. I'm going to just have to close and reopen. Well, you know we're live. We're definitely going to reopen that. Just a point to note on that, if you've got a detached chart, then you have a separate menu. And obviously that's what I've just done. Just nuked the main chart. Hopefully it just didn't auto save just as far. There we go, we're fine. Right, panic over. Right, so that's another top tip. That we'll do. We'll just do a blank chart on this. In fact, I'm going to just share another screen. Right, okay, so getting back to what we're actually doing. Right, so literally, and I just need my drawing pen. Right, so when we have these volume areas like so, in between them we'll have LVNs, yeah? That's a low volume node. That's where price races through an area, right, and doesn't want to trade. And then we get consolidation. So consolidation like so is what's shown in a volume area here, right? A big bar like this, as an example, is an LVN. So if we don't want to trade here and we think that value is going lower, then that's when you see a breakout to there. And obviously you can see that on the other system. So that's basically, when I say to you, right, and we've got a volume profile like so, and you have valuation high here, right, and valuation high area low, sorry, here, and then you have VPOC here, i.e. point of control, that stands for point of control, right? Then that's why you see the pink lines normally there, right? Then this equates to 70% of all the trades. So what you tend to find is you will get mean reversion between here back to here and here back to here. Yeah. So that's basically what those mean on the charts on the VAL and the VAH. Has that made it a bit clearer for you?
Yeah, that's understandable.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.